Greetings to everyone watching. For this Mental Health Awareness Month, we are talking about the dire mental health crisis in science and STEM fields. And we are hearing about perspectives about mental health from various women in STEM. Today, I have here with me Dr. Svetlana Sharifulina, who is a neuroscientist and postdoctoral researcher. She has a PhD in biophysics and is currently investigating epigenetic mechanisms of brain regeneration after stroke. She also is a serious advocate for women in science and leads the Women in Life Sciences in Helsinki. Hi, Svetlana, great to have you here.
Hello, thank you for inviting for this great initiative.
So moving on to the important questions of today, I would like to ask you firstly, there is an indubitable mental health crisis in science, and this requires immediate action. Women scientists and minorities in STEM are especially susceptible to these crises. What are your perspectives on this?
Well, I agree that academia is for many people really hard for their mental health because of the competition, high pressure environments, and also there is like gender discrimination related to hiring, promoting, salary, spaces, equipment, etc., and also sexual harassment. So women in science and minorities in science also experience like social isolation, and maybe they could even feel the outsiders. Specifically women, they may experience like greater pressure because they like kind of representative of the women as a group. And unfortunately, those individuals who suffer from mental health disorder, they face not only challenges that related to their symptoms of their disorders, but also they faced a lot of stigma. And I think that this stigma in mental health disorders really leads to this crisis in science. And yes, it requires immediate action.
I would want to know if you have experienced any personal or proximal struggles related to mental health, and if you would be inclined to sharing anything about this.
During my PhD, I really struggled with the imposter syndrome. And even though my PhD work was ready and written, it took me like a few months to be ready to defend it just because of the anxiety and imposter syndrome. And unfortunately, I didn't have enough support, like maybe some counseling or something that was like in the faculty at that time. And I think that this is very important because I also noticed among many PhD students that they may have the same problem, and sometimes they can't even find like real help with this. So also with the postdoctoral life that begins, sometimes I had like a really huge anxiety because of the research, not on the contracts, but on the grant research, when you don't have this confidence about your future. And even if you have the contract, it really could be like up to 6 months or 8 months. And this is really hard to plan the experiments. And we know that in science, you not always get all the results fast, and it's also lead to anxiety. And with the isolation, without no support group or mentoring, it's really easy to go into depression or other mental health disorders. And also working like many hours like scientists do. We have this culture working also during the weekends. It's really hard sometimes to manage work-life balance that also could lead to some issues with mental health. So I think that like many people in my field, I also face all these challenges. And I just try to find support, like For instance, I found this network, Women in Life Science in Helsinki, where there is a really safe space for women in science to change their challenges, to get support and mentoring.
I would like to finally ask you, what is your advice for prioritizing and ameliorating mental health, especially for women scientists?
I think that we should reduce the stigma of mental illness through the education of leaders, of other research group members, and through providing facts about mental health. People should better understand like all the problems that someone could face with some problems with mental health. It's very important to have these clear policies that like procedures also for reporting some cases, for support, to build safe environment for those who struggle, to make them feel that they are not alone.